Hi, my name is Gustavus, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to make sure your website is an investment and not a cost. So I talk to many business owners, and they always say that their website is out there, not really doing anything, and just for the looks mostly. But really, if you look at it, the goal of the website is not just to be, but to sell the company, their service, and get the customer to act. In most cases, it is a pure cost and does nothing, but when used properly, it is an investment and can generate large amounts of money for the company. So yeah, here we go. So 6 things that will ensure your website is an investment and not a cost. So number 1, 21st century design. People are creatures of first impression, and for many companies, the website is their first impression. If it looks cheap, old, and unprofessional, what does that say about the service of the company? So I will show you a couple of designs now, a couple of screenshots, and you tell me what your first impression is. So number 1, number 2, and number 3. So looking through these, let's say you didn't know anything about the company, and let's just even say that your friend recommended you the company, you want to check them out more, and this is the first thing you saw. What is going to be your first impression? Obviously, if you're like most people, it's not going to be very good, and you know, if you give a call to these carpenters, for them to quote you high prices is going to be uphill battle because your first impression is not very good from the start. So this is what I mean by 21st century design. If you have a design like this, you're just fighting an uphill battle. You know, no matter what they see next, they're always going to remember this sort of design, and they immediately associate that you're probably a cheap, old service, even though you might have the best service in the world. So 21st century design is a must and a number 1 thing. So number 2, relates back to the customer. Most companies talk about themselves, their achievements, their service, and their reputation, but if it doesn't relate back to the customer, all that stuff doesn't matter. Every customer always thinks, yes, but what's in it for me? So let me show you a screenshot from another website. So basically it says, welcome to the award-winning Company X. We're a well-established, trusted carpentry and building business in the Midlands with more than 25 years experience. Company X provides all aspects of carpentry. We are CHAS approved. All carpenters hold TSS, Advanced Construction Award, and NVQ Level 3. I mean, all this is just talking about the company. They don't even touch about the customer. So when you talk just about yourself, you have to remember that people, they just care about themselves. So your customers, they don't care about you, they care about themselves. So if you don't make the website about them, if you don't relate it back to them, then there's no point. So, you know, boasting is fine. Like, you know, telling why you're good, and you know, telling why they should choose you is good, but you always have to relate back to them. So if I'm reading this, what's in it for me? So you always have to make sure that you talk about your customer as well. Number 3, different and high value. If you dress, talk, and act like everyone else, you will be seen and treated as everyone else. So, a couple of things to avoid. So to make sure that you don't sound and you're not seen as everyone else. So standard phrases. So this one I see a lot. No job too big or too small. This is a classic one for tradespeople. You know, don't use this phrase because everyone else is using it, and if everyone else is using it, then you're just gonna seem like everyone else. And if you're gonna seem like everyone else, then you can't really charge good prices because you just, you know, what's different about you than about the other person. Customer satisfaction is our priority. So these phrases, they don't do anything because everyone is using, they're overused, and they actually hurt you more than they help. Or standard design as well. So for example, Yell, you know, websites made by Yell, they have the standard design, they have the Yell logo, standard sections, so it doesn't look very high value. So if you can avoid these things, then you're you know, you're one step closer to making sure the website is actually an investment, generates results. Number 4, clear structure and simplicity. You don't need to know everything about the business to have enough information and have enough reason to get in touch with a business. So by this I mean that a lot of websites, if you look at it, they have like 10 different sections and 20 different subsections, and you don't need all that information. Some companies that just put everything on the site, and I think the bigger the better, but actually people don't have that much attention, and you don't need to have all that information to generate good results. So include these things and you'll be fine. So unique selling point, what's different about you, case studies and testimonials, your story, so you know about your company, your story, how you got started, and what's the next step, so what do you want them to do. So if you include all these things, you will be fine. Number 5, call to action. So if you don't tell your visitors what you want to do, how do you expect them to know for yourself? So this just means that if you want them to request a free consultation, put it on your website. Call us to get a free consultation. If you want them to fill out the form, just say fill out the form. We'll be in touch, and make sure that the call to action is different and it's very, very visible, and people know what to do, because people don't have very high attention spans, and if you don't tell them what to do, then they most likely won't do what you want them to do. So always tell them what to do. And number 6, visitors. If a tree fell down in a forest and no one saw it, did it really happen? I mean, this thing is one of the most important things, probably the most important. If you don't have any visitors, then it doesn't matter. Steps 1 to 5, then you're not going to get any results. And for a lot of businesses, this is exactly their Achilles heel, is they don't get any visitors. So how do you expect to get any results? So make sure that you have visitors. Make sure you work on your website's search engine optimization, so you're high in Google rankings, or you use any kind of advertisement. Because if you don't have any visitors, then what's the point? If you have a lot of referrals coming in, if you have a high brand name, then you just might get enough visitors by people referring you organically. So you say when people refer you to your company, they'll Google you anyways. They'll Google your name, so you might get visitors. But if not, you need to work on your website's performance. So that's it for the checklist. I want to show you a real life example. So I know examples, sort of stories. How is the expression? Facts tell, stories sell. So I want to show you a real life example of how all 5 things look in practice. So let me just go back. 21st Century Design. So this is a website we did, and I want to show you like all 5 things, how they're incorporated, and then after that I want to show you the results that we've gotten. So number 1, 21st Century Design. So if you look through the website, you can even Google jmtwoodbuild.co.uk. It's for a carpentry/building company. So 21st Century Design, it looks very 21st century. That's number 1, 21st century. Then what's the next step? Relates back to the customer. So let me show you this section. JMT was established in 2006, and I started the business with the customer first philosophy. For me, it always meant producing quality work on budget and on time. The way we do is by paying a ridiculous amount of attention to little details, because small things turn into big things, and those make a massive difference in the end result. Laser focus on customer satisfaction has paid dividends, and we are extremely happy for all the customers and now enjoy a much pleasant home. I mean, this section, a company where the customer always comes first, it's sort of giving good facts about the company, but it's relating back to the customer, and you can see that it sort of gives them excitement, and it gives them sort of hope that, wow, this company actually cares about me, and they really focus on customer satisfaction, and they are upper class builders who take pride in their job, and they'll be more than happy to work with me. A company where the customer always comes first, it sort of doesn't sound very cheesy. So it's about them. It makes it about them. So that's good. So different and high value. So let me show you this section, for example. Are you looking to build a house? Our creative and meticulous approach will leave you amazed when you see your new home and upgraded results. Delivering exemplary domestic building solutions next to every time and on time. So these kind of things, they talk about the company, but they're not very, your standard phrases, no job too big or too small. If we put no job too big or too small, if it was here, then it would look it wouldn't look very good, because it would look sort of, just the standard phrase. So it's very high value, and it's very different, and we're not talking like everyone else. So that's number 3. So number 4, clear structure and simplicity. So if you look at the site itself, it's very clear what to do and where to go next. So home, services, about, past projects, and free quotes. So it's very clear. It's very easy to navigate. You can see, the home page is very clear. If you want to see the latest, projects and case studies, you can just go here. It's super, super clear. And call to action. So call to action is very, very visible. Free quotes. You just press it, and then you'll go to get the free quote. That's what we want them to do. Find out more. It's all in the red. So if we want their attention, we just get them in red. And that's how we make sure that we want them to request a quote here as well. That's how we make sure that they do what we want them to do. And visitors. So this company, if you go and you Google Carpenter Exeter, then they're just going to come up here. So they're number one page on Google, and that's how they make sure that their visitors, that's how they make sure they have enough visitors. So the website's working for them. So those are basically steps 1 to 6, so they're all completed. And yeah, let me show you a couple of results. So this is what comes in. This is the actual how the website generates results. So the quotes come in from a large chemical distribution company. Quote request comes in for a firewall. Quote coming in for a large wooden gazebo. Quote coming in. And for a new build, a person purchased a new plot of land, and they want to meet with the owner to, plan a project. So this is how the website actually generates investment. And, if you look at these projects, they're probably a couple of thousands of pounds, some of them. So it's easily any of the project can be, return much more money than the company invests in the website. And that's how you generate results. That's how you generate investment. And, that's why a lot of companies, they don't have these things and nothing of this happens, and then they think it's a waste of time. But I just wanted to show you in this video, if you do all these 6 things, then you'll definitely get results, and it's possible to get results. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching, and yeah, have a nice day. See you guys. Bye-bye.